Hi, my name is Egle, and today I'm going to talk about my dopamine detox. So, what is a dopamine detox? For more real details of what it is and how I decided to do it and the video that inspired it, I'm linking it in the description of this video, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But to give you a quick little summary, it's essentially removing all activities that give you like instant gratification. So, no mind-altering substances, no masturbating, no video games, no TV, no junk food, no internet, and what else? Um, not even, not even music. I didn't even use music. So I decided to do this because I feel like it's just good to get some extra motivation, and I want to be even more motivated than I have been. And what did I actually do when I woke up? So I woke up and I turned my phone off the previous night at around 11 o'clock. And I had already planned my day for today, which is Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. And I made the dopamine detox day just kind of a free day. I just decided I'm going to do whatever I feel like. I kind of had some ideas in mind, and so I woke up, I did like maybe 2 minutes of a meditation based on my estimate. Since I do meditate almost every day, I can kind of tell about how much time has passed in the meditation. So I did a quick little meditation, and then I did a quick little morning warm-up exercise, which I do most mornings. And after that, I essentially just had like a really chill day. I made some breakfast slash just food, and I woke up kind of late, so by now it was like 10:30. So I made some food, I journaled about my goals, but I also had a extremely long journaling session um, where I literally just talked to my journal, to myself, for probably at least an hour about anything and everything. I kind of covered most areas of my life as a snapshot. And I also took some time to read this book, which ended up being more fascinating than I expected because I didn't realize this when I bought it, but this book is about 64 years old, and this is all in Lithuanian. So it's a book about science called Energy Sources, and it talks about the different sources of energy that we have via gas, like natural gas, or atomic energy. And this is before solar, so it was just like fascinating. It's like a time machine, and I even decided to read it out loud. Because I recently moved to Lithuania from the United States. I was born here, but I lived in the United States for 16 years, and I just missed my mother tongue, my motherland, and I wanted to practice speaking Lithuanian because I feel like even though I live here now, I still don't really get enough practice with that. So I did that, and the thing that was the most fascinating about this book is it was written during the time of the USSR, during the Soviet Union. So the way that they mentioned the Soviet Union, it was so different than how we perceive it now. It was like touted as this like power that was to be respected and this authority, and that the USSR still had like departments for science. It wasn't like complete ignorance or anything. So I just found it really kind of, whoa, like this is like a time machine. Like that's all I could really say about it. And I only read about 15 pages, so it wasn't even that much, but I read it out loud, so of course it's going to be slower that way. So I did that, and then the other thing that I did was for anybody who doesn't know, if this is your first time watching, I am a certified level 2 Reiki healer. So I was talking to somebody recently on Twitter, and she was talking about how she's cursed, or somebody put a curse on her. So I said, oh, why don't I do a Reiki healing and lift all curses from the planet? And so that's what I did. And who knows, maybe new curses that get put on people will work, but curses set by people who are dead, at least I did my part to contribute to them breaking. I did a healing for the planet. And my intention was to do it in the healthiest, most careful way possible. Not to be like super destructive, because who knows what kind of curses are at play right now if you believe in that kind of thing. Or even if you don't, maybe they still work even if you don't believe in it. Who knows? I can't verify. So I did that, and then I did a proper Reiki healing for myself, because most nights I Reiki myself to sleep. It just helps me to fall asleep very easily, and I started doing it over a year ago, and it's really just better than any sleeping medication. So I did a proper thing where I went from like head to toe and like did this thing, and it put me to sleep, of course. So by the time I got to my stomach from my head, I passed out for maybe 3 hours, and this was already like 7 o'clock when I was doing it. So I woke up like right before 10, and 10 o'clock is usually when I start getting ready for bed. So I think it was maybe like 9:30. So I did a quick little exercise that I do for my evening. Like I do a quick little evening workout. It's like stretching mostly. Like it's not like whoa, So I did that, and then I just like brush my teeth, wash my face, all that stuff before going to bed. And I laid in bed for about over an hour. I couldn't really fall asleep. I think probably because of the 3-hour nap that I just had taken. And because I couldn't fall asleep at around 11:30, I did end up checking my phone. I did end up turning it on. So I used it for a little bit, and I used it mostly just to kind of check what's been happening on social media for that day. And then I've been studying French on Duolingo, so I didn't want to lose my streak. So I did my little French lesson, and I also have some streaks on Snapchat with people. So I was actually thinking about that throughout the day, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna lose that. I feel kind of bad because it's like months in the making. It's like over 2 months that I've been like sending like something to people like every single day. So that's kind of sad. I would like to not break that. So I did end up not breaking it. So, break one commitment, kind of continue another. I don't know. But after checking my phone very briefly, I tried to go to bed, and I couldn't really fall asleep that easily, but I still just stayed committed to sleep, and I woke up super early today and got ready on my day. And I definitely do feel way more motivated today, so I'm so glad that I did this. So if you're wondering if you should do it and if I recommend it, I totally do. You should totally do this. My biggest takeaways for me were, number one, it was really refreshing and really nice to wake up and not check my phone, because I admit freely that I usually wake up and I get on social media. Like that's actually one of the first things I do. It helps me become an early riser because I know that the blue light from our phones makes us more alert and awake. So I use it as a way to wake myself up, and it's not the healthiest, I don't think, for somebody's mind. Even though I do meditate and work out after, which is great, and I love doing that, it was really great to just kind of be quiet and be like, oh, I wonder what's happening on the internet. Well, I guess I won't know. So that was really interesting, and not having the phone reminded me of what it was like when I was a child also, because I grew up before there were smartphones, before internet was so popular and widespread, and I used to just like play in the yard and read books and just do activities. So it just reminded me of this time of not feeling rushed and not feeling like there's pressure to do anything. Like the whole day felt kind of open to me to do whatever I felt like doing. Although, of course, it would have been greater if I didn't have to wear a mask when I go outside and if there was no quarantine. But I might not even be doing this if there was no quarantine, so who knows. But I would have liked to go for a walk, but I hate wearing the masks that are mandatory here. So it was a really interesting experience, and I think, so right now as I'm recording this and as I did it, it is over a month since the quarantine started for COVID-19, coronavirus, and a lot of people online have cried out about how difficult it is to stay at home all day, and I decided to essentially up the ante a little bit by removing even the sources of entertainment that people have been relying on as crutches, and I'm glad I did it. It wasn't that hard for me. That's another takeaway of mine, is I'm really proud of myself for living a relatively low dopamine lifestyle, a relatively low instant gratification lifestyle, where I don't really consume a lot of the things that people use to just instantly make themselves feel better. And that's another thing that yesterday made me reflect on, is just how far I have come in cultivating a really healthy lifestyle. And I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm pretty close, and I'm super proud of that. And yeah, I feel like it just made me think about how I used to daydream about when I was way younger, like right before college. I used to be like, yeah, I want to be that nerdy girl that, when people invite her to hang out, she says no because she has to study and she has work to do. And in recent years, I feel like I became that, which is of course way later than I intended to be that kind of person. But I've always wanted to be an early riser, a disciplined person, and somebody who really believes in what they're working on and what they're doing. So I am that now, and also I'm somebody who has done a lot of work to deal with my issues and my trauma from childhood as well as from recent years, and I try to process everything in the healthiest way possible. So to me, my mind is not a scary place. I'm pretty comfortable with my thoughts. I'm pretty comfortable being by myself. In fact, I am so comfortable with it that dealing with people a lot of times for me is annoying, honestly, because although I still have my flaws and I'm definitely flawed and human, I've worked through a lot of my insecurities and just like I'm comfortable with myself. So it was really interesting. I highly recommend this, like I said before, and I guess now I would just want to know if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments. And if you are thinking about this and you want to know anything that maybe might help you, also let me know. If you have ever done a dopamine detox, let me know your story. I would love to read about it. And if this inspired you and you want to do your own dopamine detox, link me to the video or link me to your experiences. I want to read about what it's like for other people to do dopamine detoxes and your takeaways. And I might try to do this monthly or so. I would say weekly, but it's just not realistically, I'm not going to want to do that. But I would like to do this maybe monthly, just like a little reset, and have a day like this. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, please like it, and I'm gonna link in the video description to my social media, and also I do have a Patreon blog, which is where I write about my goals and my progress towards my goals. I share behind the scenes stuff. I post exclusive stories and things I'm thinking about throughout the day that I don't post on regular social media, and just exclusive content or early access to my content. So if you're interested in that, you should totally subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!